this video, we're talking about what an equation is and how to solve for a variable that's inside of an equation. So in this particular problem, we've been given the equation x plus 4 equals 10, and we call it an equation because it has an equal sign in it. So equal sign means equation, and the equal sign tells us that whatever we have over here on the left must be equal to whatever we have over here on the right. And that's a super useful tool because if we have some variable, some unknown inside of our equation, then we can use the fact that we know that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side to find the value of this unknown variable. So when we're asked to solve for x, that means find the value of x by getting x all by itself on one side of the equal sign. So x right now is on the left-hand side of the equal sign, but it's also with this positive 4 here. It's x plus 4 on the left-hand side of the equal sign. We need to get it all by itself. And the way that you get it all by itself on one side of the equation is by performing the inverse operation of anything else that's with x on its side of the equal sign. So we have this positive 4 on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So we're adding 4 to x. Well, in order to get this 4 away from the x, we need to subtract 4. So if we subtract 4 here, then on the left-hand side, we'll have x plus 4 minus 4, or in other words, x plus 0. And we know that 0 is the identity number for addition and subtraction, which means that when you add 0 to anything, it doesn't change the value. It keeps its identity. So x plus 0 is still x. X keeps its identity even though you add 0 to it. And that's why this inverse operations tool works, is because we get back to the identity number. But whenever you're dealing with equations, it's really important that you always keep your equation balanced. So anything you do to the left-hand side, you have to do to the right-hand side, and anything you do to the right-hand side, you have to do to the left-hand side. Otherwise, it'll change the value of the equation and you'll get the wrong answer. So because we're subtracting 4 over here on the left, we also need to subtract 4 over here on the right. And then we're just going to add vertically like we would a vertical addition problem here. So we're going to bring down our x. Then we have plus 4 minus 4. Well, this is the same thing as 4 minus 4, and that's 0. So we can say x plus 0. We bring down our equal sign, and then we say 10 minus 4. We know 10 minus 4 is 6, so we bring that down. Now here's where that identity number comes in. We know that x plus 0 is still x. Whether we add 0 to x or subtract 0 from x, it doesn't change the identity of x. So x plus 0 is still x, and we say x equals 6. So this is x equals 6 is the value we found for x that in theory satisfies our original equation. But we all make mistakes, so we need to make sure that we check our work. And the way that we check our work is by taking this value for x and plugging it back into the original equation. So we have our original equation, x plus 4 equals 10. We said that x was equal to 6. So if we plug 6 back in for x, we get 6 plus 4 is equal to 10 instead of x plus 4 equals 10. Then we simplify this left-hand side here. We know that 6 plus 4 is 10, so we get 10 equals 10. The fact that we know that 10 does equal 10 means that this checks out, this is true, which means that x equals 6 is in fact a solution to our equation. So that's how you solve for a variable in an equation. That's how we use equations to solve for unknown values like this. You're just looking for the value of the variable that makes both sides of this equation equal to one another.